Today I have in the first release times two, the first two releases from the brand Makoto Watch Company out of Canada. I find with new brands it sometimes takes two or three cracks at it to get their watches just right, but this is one of the better debut releases I've seen in a while. Big thanks to Makoto Watch Company for giving me the opportunity to spend a little time with these watches. So let's get to it and check them out. Bit of a background on the owner, Ryan. He's, first of all, a collector. He's been collecting over 20 years. He's also an avid traveler and takes some of his design inspiration from particularly his travels to Japan. The watches are named the Hamana, which is the blue dial named after Lake Hamana. The white dial, which is fully loomed, and spoiler alert, it's got awesome loom. I'll show you that here soon, but the white version is inspired by and named the Hakusan after the snow-peaked Mount Hakusan. Let's start with the Hamana here, and first of all, the blues they're using on both watches are very nice. The dial has a sunburst effect, and it's just that right shade of blue that goes from a dark to a really vibrant blue depending on the lighting situation. The lighter blue accents go really well against the darker blue dial too. Up top, we have the company logo, which is a stylized M, which was inspired by the torii gates you'll find throughout Japan. Below that is the company name, which is also Japanese and represents honesty, authenticity, and integrity. At the bottom of the dial is the name of the watch in the same color as the logo, and the water resistance is printed just below that. The white version has the identical dial layout. I find this has a bit more of pop with the contrasting blue bezel insert. The markers are applied, including the numerals at the 3, 6, 9, and 12. Good looking handset here and a well laid out dial overall. No minute markers, but that could possibly make this a little too busy, so I'm okay with that. I'm also very good with the loom. For a fully loomed dial, this is where it's at. They're using BGW9, and man, it is solid. So many times these fully loomed dials look splotchy, but this is just really well done. The loom on the blue is different in that it's not a fully loomed dial and also isn't a fully loomed bezel like on the white version. Only has that loom pip on the bezel. Still very good loom here though as well. The bezel is a 120 click bezel with a polished ceramic insert. It has very satisfying action, but it's quite loud. It actually sounds really good, but there's some volume there. I even got the side eye from Mrs. TimeToGo the other day when I was playing with it. But yeah, it is quite enjoyable to use, and everything lines up like it should. The case is brushed with a wee bit of polish work on the top edges. Bit of a black bay vibe for sure, but it looks good. We've got a screw down case back with the company logo. These are limited to 250 pieces and are numbered on the case back. The movement is the Miyota 9039. It's a 24 joule high beat movement with a power reserve of approximately 42 hours. The crown is a signed screw down crown. Good winding action, which I find is usually the case with this movement. Kind of going back and forth between the two versions of the watch here so you can get a good look. But the bracelet is a Jubilee bracelet, which is one of my favorites for looks and comfort. It's got quick release with screwed links for sizing, tapers down to 16 millimeters at the signed clasp, and we've also got an on-the-fly adjustment system, which is always nice. I especially need that for travel when you get a bit of that wrist swell from a flight or humid weather. Size on these comes in at a case width of 39.7 millimeters. The bezel is 40.9 millimeters in diameter, so I find it wears closer to that size. Does help with grip on the bezel, having it protrude out like that, though. Lug to lug is 49.1 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 11.4 millimeters, including the slightly domed AR-treated sapphire. Water resistance on the watches is 200 meters. And here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. And yeah, these look sweet. I'm not sure which is my favorite. I think I might have to go with the fully loomed over the blue, but both look great. The brand, by the way, for anyone going to be at the Vancouver Timepiece Show this year, will be there. And me too. That's coming right up. So pretty excited for that. They do have some cool stuff in the pipeline. I'll do my best to get in more releases from the brand as they come out. Price on these come in at a launch price of $8.99 Canadian, so $6.50 or so USD. Eventually, they will get to 1,000 Canadian, $999. The owner has given us a discount code for 10% off, so use TimeToGo 10 for that. Link to where you can find these will be below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.